Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rainbow Tarot UK. So good to have you here supporting my channel and listening to my reading today. And our reading is, what have they realised about you and the connection? What do they need you to know? What do they want you to know? As usual, we've got our three piles. We've got pile number 1, which has a card that says the Crumbling and the little pink stone here. Pile number 2, which says, I think it says Lemuria, with a little white calcite there, and then pile number 3, which says Mintakan, and it's got a little green adventure in. So those are our 3 piles. Remember, it's a general reading. Just take the messages that resonate with you. They may not all resonate, that's absolutely fine. You might be drawn to more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. Just take what feels right to you, what feels comfortable for you. Don't take something that doesn't, you never have to do that. And remember, it's timeless, that's good for whenever you are finding it. But other than that, I'll see you in your reading. Bye for now. Hey pile number 1, welcome back to your reading. So we are doing, aren't we, today, what has your person realised about this connection? What's kind of struck them about the connection? And what do they want you to know about that? What do they need you to know? So you chose to come into the reading under this card, which says the Crumbling, and underneath it says, what are you clinging on to? And also this little beautiful little pink bead. So I'm going to put that there. And I'm just going to, first of all, just get a few more oracle cards on it. And I just want to say a massive thanks if you have subscribed, like I always do, commented, liked, shared. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It just means a massive amount in terms of how the channel grows and everything, and it also gives me an idea of what you like. So big thanks for that. If you feel like you want to subscribe, please do, particularly if you haven't and you like the readings. Hit the notification bell as well, just so that you know when I'm next uploading. And yeah, let's just get on with it. So please, can you tell me, what's pile number 1's person realised about them and the connection? What would they like them to know? What do they need them to know right now? So I feel like this one's poking out. What does this say? So this says, life's purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. Life's purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. Okay. There's quite a lot of colour correlation here, so we've got a lot of green and purple. I feel like there's a lot of purple here with this lightning as well, so I feel like this person is really thinking, it's almost like they have been struck with this lightning here, this lightning bolt here. I feel like they're thinking deeply. They're definitely thinking deeply about the connection with life's purpose here. Seek your own deeper vision for life. They may be going through a bit of a crisis, or a little bit of the situation might be a little bit of a crossroads, where they're not really sure what to do. They may be weighing it up with what are you clinging on to, that kind of stuff. There might be a lot of that going on, and that might be what they're realising right now, kind of questioning. They may be questioning the situation quite a lot, and that might be why we have a lot of the crown chakra colours. They may have to be going deep within themselves to kind of work things out, but there's a lot of green here, so I feel like there is a lot of heart connection in this. I feel like, I don't know why, I'm just hearing tugging on their heartstrings. I feel the situation is kind of tugging on their heartstrings in some way. But anyway, let's see what we've got here. What else is pile number 1's person? What have they realised about the connection? What would they like pile 1 to know as a result? What do they need pile 1 to know as a result of this realisation of what they've been struck with? Please, can you tell me? Healing grief. Healing grief. So with the Crumbling here, because the Crumbling always reminds me of the Tower in the tarot deck, which is when a situation has come sort of toppling down, something that has mainly been secure, you thought was safe and secure or stable, has come toppling down. I just feel like maybe you're in separation from this person for some of you. There is some grief in this situation, there's been some turmoil. With the owls here, maybe, and the life's purpose, there's a need for wisdom, there's a need to go in, there's a need to go to retreat. So maybe this situation is in a little bit of a crisis point, or it's at a point where, like I say, you're in separation. You might have been in separation for quite a long time, actually, for some of you. And there's some healing going on, and within that healing, maybe there's also this kind of realisation that they need to let go of certain things, because we've got what are you clinging on to. So maybe there's a realisation that they need to let go of something in order for you and them to move forward, of the situation to move forward. But there's certainly a lot of thinking, a lot of contemplation. It is pulling on their heartstrings, I feel, because we've got this healing here. So they might be feeling hurt. You might be feeling hurt in this current situation. Owls, I'm being called to say that owls. There's an owl on the back here. That might mean something to some of you. But that is card number 19, and 19 cancels down. 1 and 9 is 10. 10 is about endings, but it also cancels down to 1, which is about new beginnings and new cycles. So I feel like for some of you that this might either be something that's come into separation, and you're just kind of wondering what's going on for them, you know, what are they realising, what's going on in their head about the connection. Or it's kind of like at a crisis point, or at some sort of crossroads here. You know, or I feel like for a lot of you it is around a sort of separation situation, and that they might be there might be this. It's also a time for healing, for you to kind of really heal, to look inside yourself, to work out really whether this is a situation you want to keep hold of, or whether it's a situation that needs to be released or surrendered in some way. It could be like that, like I say, so it's a little bit of a crossroads situation. But let's see, and that might be what your person is realising right now. So please can you tell me, what is pile number 1's person realising about pile number 1 and the connection? What do they want? You know, what do they want to tell them? What do they need them to know? What are they realising right now about this connection? So I've got this one wants to come out, which is the 3 of Wands. What are they realising about the connection? The Hermit. What are they realising right now about this connection? Page of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Magician. Okay, so what are they realising right now about the connection? I think the overriding energy being the Magician is, I think there's a realisation in them around this particular situation that there needs to be because the Magician card is manifesting and creating. So if you're in separation from them, I feel like they are keen, the realisation is that they want to create something else. Now it's not clear, I've got to be honest here, at the moment it's not clear to me about whether they want to create something again with you, because I feel like this for a lot of you, that this is a situation that is either in separation or it's on the verge of separation, or something's happened to bring it into a sort of crisis point, or there's been a lot of hurt or a lot of upset in this situation. You know, you probably are in separation with the Hermit right in the middle here, because I feel like there's a lot of reflection going on, there's a lot of introspection going on, there's a lot of soul searching going on. I think that's probably why I had the, you know, pulling on their heartstrings. There are decisions that kind of need to be made, but certainly the overarching energy is to create, is to manifest. Either manifest something new, their kind of realisation is for them that they want to manifest something new going forward. It could be that they want to manifest something new with you, but I'm not getting that from these cards. Let's wait and see what we get later on. But for them, the realisation is for them that they want to create, they want to manifest something. They feel they've got all the right resources and all the right things that they need to make something new, to bring something new here. It definitely feels to me like they're in this period of waiting, because the Hermit and the three of Wands is definitely about waiting. It's about, you could be in a long distance situation from some of you might be in a long distance situation from this person, but my sense is that it's in stagnation, and it's kind of at a bit of a crossroads. So maybe you've been separated from a while, or there's still these feelings and you still feel connected to them, but this kind of like this waiting to see, and also just like this person looking outwards. So I feel like the realisation is that this person might be looking beyond the connection to something else, to something different, to something more that they want to create. That they had a lot of time to think, I mean, the Hermit energy is an alone energy, and in that alone energy you are thinking a lot, you are working things out, you're wanting to make things better. It does go with the healing grief, maybe, you know, if you are in separation, because with the crumbling here, I feel like, you know, like the Tower card, you know, you might have been holding on to something that was going wrong for quite a long time, and maybe you just weren't picking up on the signs, and now it has finally come into separation, and you are reflecting on whether it is now, I think what they are doing is they're reflecting on whether the relationship is the right relationship for them now going forwards, because we've got life's purpose, seek your own deeper vision for life. And it kind of gets me, my feeling is, from these particular cards, that they are looking to heal what might have gone on between you and them, to heal the situation. It might have been a very painful situation for them, it might have been a very painful situation for you, but my sense is that they are needing to look outwards, they're looking to the future, and it's not clear from these cards at the moment whether they are looking to have that future again with you. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. But let's see what comes out. Now, the Page of Pentacles is also about, you know, a beginning, again, a kind of new beginning, a sort of tangible new beginning, a new beginning when they can learn again, they can be something different, something new, they can... So I'm kind of getting a sense of them wanting something new, to create something new here, that they've had time to reflect, to look inwards. They've realised maybe that they need to let go of something, that it's very painful, it's very difficult, but it's time maybe now to move forwards to create something different. I feel like that is what they are going through at the moment. That's what's striking them, that's the realisation that they're going through at the moment. From these particular cards. Now, in terms of astrological energy, you know, like with the Hermit card, I see Virgo energy. Three of Wands, I see sort of Emperor energy here. Okay, but let's see what else we've got. So please can you tell me, you know, what has pile number one's person realised about this connection? What do they want them to know? What do they need them to know? What have we got here? Yeah, Seven of Swords. What do they need them to know? What do they want them to know? What have they realised? Strength. What do they need them to know? What do they want them to know? Ace of Cups. And the underlying energy is the Nine of Cups. Right. So what I feel here, this is, I mean, like I said, I was waiting to see what other cards were coming out. I mean, for some of you, this might be a little bit of a secret, hidden situation, you know, a bit of a three-way situation, because it comes right under the Three of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords does talk about, I mean, you can just see from this picture, it's sort of like a little bit of a, something going on, isn't it, in the kind of cover of, under the cover of darkness, which suggests that it is either hidden or it is something that is maybe, you know, like a little bit sneaky, or a little bit sort of underhand, or something like that, or that involves a little bit of deceit or something like that on some level. So some of you might be involved here. This might be a bit of a three-way situation or a clandestine situation in some way. Or it's kind of doing the unexpected. So maybe they, you know, you're in separation from this person, and it feels like it's a done deal, it feels like it's over, possibly, but they do something that they're about to do something that is unexpected, or that you're not expecting, or that they're not even expecting. You know, that suddenly that's the thing that they've realised, because we've got the Strength, the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups, and maybe out of nowhere, doing something unexpected, they have realised that they want to come back into the situation. That could be one way of reading this, because the overarching energy is the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So it could be a wish fulfillment of coming back towards you in some way. That could be one way of reading it. But the other thing is that in this situation, there could have been deceit, there could have been lies, there could have been trickery, and that might have what caused it to come into separation, what caused it to crumble. And that within this kind of period of separation, They have healed. They want you to know that they have healed, that they're going inward, that they are in a period of really, you know, doing some soul searching in some way. And it is, you know, it is requiring strength. It is requiring them to have strength. Maybe if they've done something in the situation that has caused this situation to come in separation, where there was trickery, deceit, lies, they've had to really try to master and get control of that behaviour in some way with this kind of Lion and the Lamb card here. They've had to master it whilst in separation, whilst in this period of, you know, going inwards and reflecting, really. They've really tried to do that. And Ace of Cups is like a new beginning in love. So it could be that they want this kind of new beginning in love with you, or it could be, again, that they want a new beginning, a new start, a fresh start in love in some way, or a new cycle in love. And I feel, to be honest, it's what I'm sensing in this situation, just intuitively, that my overarching feeling is that this person wants to leave this situation behind and begin something new, begin a new cycle in love for themselves in some way, a new beginning in love for themselves. They may, you know, I feel like if this situation is where they've done things that have been wrong, in the situation where they've done things that haven't been right, I feel that they are regretful of that, certainly. I feel that they wish they hadn't put you through that in some way. But they are in this period of separation, in this, you know, of kind of like soul searching, healing, making themselves better. But I think it's with a view to being more emotionally fulfilled and having a new beginning in love for them, which I think for them is about moving away from the situation with you. And I have to be honest about that, pile number one. That is just my intuitive feeling, that they are now ready to move away from the situation, because we've got the overall card is, what are you clinging on to? You know, seek your own life's purpose and heal from the grief. So I certainly think this situation has caused them a lot of heartache. There's certainly a lot of feeling but there was something about, I think, the way they behaved, or maybe something about the way that they perceived that you behaved, where trust broke down so much that I think they're feeling that it would be difficult to recover that. And so the best thing is to move forward independently, to begin a new situation in love, to start and have a new beginning in love, and this would sort of help them to be more fulfilled. And also, I believe they're thinking it would help you to feel more fulfilled, you know, going forwards, that you kind of let each other go, you surrender, if you like, and move forwards, you know, independently on your journey, having learnt a lot, having you know, done a lot of soul searching and a lot of healing. Certainly for them, they feel that they've done a lot and hopefully learned a lot from that situation, but it's time to maybe let that go and move forwards into something new. So I just need to really be honest with you about that pile number one, and that is my feeling. If this doesn't resonate with you, then you might want to go for another pile, but that's kind of what I'm feeling here in this situation. Let's see, in terms of astrological signs, with the Seven of Swords, well, that could be, or that is Leo. Obviously, we've got the Strength card here, that's a Leo energy. Ace of Cups, that could be any one of the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Nine of Cups, again, is a Pisces energy. So let's take a look and see if there's any kind of advice or guidance from Spirit for you going forwards. What is the advice or guidance from Spirit going forwards for you? Please, can you tell me, what is the advice? I feel like, as I just nudged the Ace of Cups here, I feel like it is also some guidance around you thinking of new beginnings or new starts in love for yourself, and also self-love, because the Ace of Cups is about filling up your own cup. So maybe with all these cards around, you know, healing, I feel like there's some guidance here around really focusing on your own healing, on giving yourself that cup of love, on supporting yourself and being kind to yourself. Please, can we have some guidance and advice for pile number one in this situation? Mistakes. We all make mistakes. So there's mistakes that were made in this situation, but it's about what I was saying before, that, just forgive yourself, or maybe there's something about for you both to forgive yourselves. There was something went wrong in this situation. Be kind to yourself now moving forward. Don't take it on too much. Learn from it, because mistakes are there, opportunities for us to learn from it, and to not be too harsh on yourself, both for you and for them. What other guidance can we have for pile number 1 here in this situation? Please, can we offer some guidance? Oh, I feel like 3. What have I got? 3. I didn't want 3. I've got look for a sign. I've got if you believe, and then peaceful resolution. So I feel like there is a resolution, a peaceful resolution for you in this, but I do feel it is about letting go. I do feel for a lot of you it's about letting go. Believing that you can move on, believing that you can have something new, believing that love is out there for you, and also to look for a sign for that, to look and recognise signs, along the way, or signs that will lead you into feeling, I'm getting a kind of message, just feeling peaceful and feeling good about the decisions you've made about this situation, or feeling okay with the situation, and kind of moving forward in a positive way. Pile number 1, that's been your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, and welcome back to your reading. So you chose to come into this reading on, what have they realised about the connection, about you? What do they want you to know? What do they need you to know? And this gorgeous, gorgeous card, and it says Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And this is from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, I think. So that is a gorgeous card, isn't it? So obviously I think Lemuria was this kind of continent that was believed to be almost like kind of heaven on earth. It was, all the people that lived there were supposed to be healers, and everything was harmonious and peaceful. That's kind of my understanding, just very briefly, of this kind of continent that may or may not have existed. Okay, so let's see. So that's got a beautiful feel to it, hasn't it? And also a little white calcite. So what have they realised? So that's got a lovely energy to it, hasn't it? A bit like, Lemuria was supposed to have itself. So let's see, what else have we got here? I'm just going to get some more oracle cards on what has pile number 2's person realised about pile number 2 and the connection. What do they want them to know? What do they need them to know about the connection? So I feel like that one's definitely wanting to come out. Celebrate life. Make your life a celebration. Okay. So I think they're feeling very, certainly from these 2 cards, I'm getting the sense that they are feeling very optimistic, very hopeful about the connection. They've realised that it's a connection that's good for them, that's right for them. I don't know if you can see, this has actually got a heart. There's like a little heart shape here, isn't there? There's that one. And then there's, I can't do it on this one. There's that. Sorry, difficult. And then there's kind of this bit as well. It's like a heart there in the centre. So I feel like that they are feeling very good about this connection. They're feeling it's good, very good for them. They're feeling it's a healing connection for them. That it's a loving connection. That it's a harmonious connection for them. Or it certainly has the potential, depending on what cards come out here. So there's a lot of positivity in these 2 cards that they are realising about this connection, certainly. Please, can you tell me, what's pile number 2's person realising about them and the connection? What do you want them to know? What do they need them to know right now? Please, can you make that clear to me? Okay, what have we got here? Grace. Yeah, grace. I feel like, and this again goes with the Lemuria card, like there's a lot of, I feel like it's a very spiritual connection. They certainly feel there's a strong spiritual link with you. I think they feel like you are very, what I'm picking up is like they feel that you are very graceful. There's a lot of class to you. There's a lot of grace to you, that you are very, I think they're very attracted to you. That's kind of what I would say here. This might be for some of you a situation which is at its early stages. But also with the Lemuria, I sort of remember feeling it, you know, because it's got this kind of all these spiritual links, you know, all the people in Lemuria were healers, you know, highly kind of sensitive beings, if you like, and with the grace here, I just feel like there's this strong link between the two of you, a strong spiritual. There might be even a past life link in some way that they are feeling, that they are kind of experiencing something maybe that they can't necessarily explain, or just something that pulls them in some way. Now this is card number 14, and 14 does cancel down to 5, so maybe there has been some challenges or some disruption in the situation for some of you. Maybe there's some long distance, because that can also mean about travel, or maybe there's some risk taking or shifts that are required to bring this situation into being, but they're definitely feeling positive about it. And they're feeling like I feel like they're feeling like it's almost protected spiritually. It might even be, this connection might even be, there might be a lot of protection, spiritual protection around this particular connection here. But anyway, let's start off with, you know, please can you tell me what has pile number one's, not number one, what has pile number one. Now that, because I said number one twice there, you might want to check out pile number one if you feel drawn. What has pile number two's person realised about this connection? What do they want pile number two to know? Or maybe they're just wanting more harmony. They want the connection to be more harmonious, for it to have more grace, for it to be more, you know, to be more thankful maybe for it, to celebrate it more in some way. That could also be, you know, to make it better. Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they want to make it better in some way for some of you. Please can you tell me, what has pile number two's person realised about this connection? Please can you make it clear? So we've got the 9 of Wands here. There's a beautiful 9 of Wands, but there's lots of wounds. This woman has lots of what look like little sort of wounds, don't they? Little kind of stab wounds that have been sewn up. And the 10 of Pentacles, so the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. What have they realised about this connection? What have they realised about this connection? Please can you tell me what have they realised about pile number 2? What have they realised about the connection? 10 of Swords, right, okay. And then also the overarching energy is the 8 of Wands. I think that you might be inquiring about somebody that you are in, possibly in separation from, because we have the 10 of Swords here. Now the 10 of Swords normally talks about a situation that is kind of like over and done with, really. 10s can talk about final endings and completions. 9 of Wands is somebody defending themselves, the wounded warrior, really. So it might be that this situation has been through an awful lot, has been through a great deal of pain, a great deal of suffering. That's why I've sort of drawn to all these little kind of gashes, almost gashes on this woman's body, and she's surrounded. You know, she's surrounded by this thorny bush, but it still has a red rose on it. So what I'm intuitively picking up from these cards is this might be for a lot of you a situation where you've come into separation from this person, that you are not with them. There's been a lot of pain. I feel like there might have been a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of hurt, a need to sort of like stand up for yourself in some respect, a need to defend yourself in some respect. But right smack bang in the centre is the 10 of Pentacles, and that goes with all these cards. I think what this person has realised or come to realise is that they want commitment, that they want to settle down with you, that they want to be with you, that you are home to them. And I think that's why we have the Lemuria, the celebrate life, the grace. They've realised that you are that other person for them, that they want that I almost said soulmate connection. It feels to me like that, although I don't have any obvious cards here around soulmate, it feels like they're realising at last that this is like a soulmate connection for them. I feel like it has been a rocky road with this particular pile. I feel like you have gone through a lot of pain, with them, a lot of heartache, but the overarching energy is the Eight of Wands, and that very much goes with the celebrate life here. Eight of Wands is about moving swiftly, clearly towards, you know, what you want. And because this, I mean, this isn't this kind of image with all this kind of umbrellas here, it just makes me feel like this person wants to revive the situation in a more kind of fun way, in a more harmonious way, but in a more celebratory way, which is why we've got to celebrate life. Because this looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? To be floating off with all these umbrellas, just having a good time, really. And I feel like this person wants to come back. They want to move towards you, and I do feel like for a lot of you it is because it's in separation. But they want to move in some way towards you. They want to create harmony with you again. They want to celebrate this connection, and they want to recognise its worth. They want to recognise the strong pull that they feel towards you. They want to elevate it, because this person, she's elevated, isn't she? She's floating in the sky with all these umbrellas. I feel like they want to elevate it. They want to resurrect it again, a bit like Lemuria, which, you know, is believed to have been a continent that you know, was obliterated, or that sort of sunk maybe into the sea, or you know, they want to kind of resurrect it. They want to bring it up again. They want to elevate it again. That is kind of what I am intuitively feeling with this, you know, what they've realised about this connection. So with the Nine of Wands, you have Sagittarius energy, Ten of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and the Ten of Swords is Gemini energy, and the Eight of Wands, that is also Sagittarius energy. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm feeling here. So let's have a look and see. Yeah, let's have a look and see what else we've got for pile number 2. So please can you tell me, what is pile number 2's person realising right now about this connection? What do they want and need pile number 2 to know? What are they realising right now about this connection? Four of Pentacles. What are they realising right now about this connection? What do they want and need pile number 2 to know? Oh, the Hermit. And then the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. And then the overarching energy is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so that's exactly, it falls in line with what I was saying before. So I do feel like it's stuck, and I do feel that they feel that you might be quite defensive or guarded at the moment, or not really open to them coming back towards you, or this whole situation, really, because we've got the Four of Pentacles underneath the Nine of Wands, and I feel like this is you guarding yourself, protecting yourself, holding on to your you know, the kind of status quo, or just not willing to kind of like move forwards in the situation. I feel like they are thinking that, or realising that, so it might be a bit of an uphill struggle for them. The Hermit card is that they are realising that they want this commitment, but you are not as keen, because the Hermit is about a pullback energy. It's about a private energy. It's about a soul searching energy. So it may be that in separation there's some healing going on, or there's some, you know, some questioning, or there's a need for reflection in some way, and they might be, I feel like they're doing that. They're definitely doing that with a view to like I say, to resurrecting. But I think from their point of view, they might think that with the Nine of Wands here, that you are, you know, not interested, that you are defensive and guarded and not wanting to do that. But they want to collaborate, because the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration. They want to work with you. They want to you know, work towards building this situation up again, because underneath the Eight of Wands we have this Knight of Pentacles, which is moving slowly towards creating a sort of tangible, something real. And it's interesting because normally the other overarching energy is the Eight of Wands. Now normally the Eight of Wands is a very speedy movement, but because we've got all these umbrellas and this girl is kind of floating through the sky, it did make me think that it's not as quick. So I feel like this is a gradual, this person wants to make a gradual move towards you. They definitely want to move towards you to build up something tangible. Then I think they're feeling it has to be slow, because they're that you would be, you may have gone through the mill a little bit with this person. There might have been and also they might have been in separation for a long time and they're not really sure, what's going on with you anymore, because you might have kept yourself very private, kept yourself very contained, where they don't have much access to you. But they want to come back and collaborate with you. They want to work with you again. But it needs to be tangible. I think they realise that it needs to be tangible. It needs to be something concrete that they're offering you, but their feeling is that it's a strong bond between the two of you, that you have this kind of strong sense of history maybe between the two of you, that you understand one another, each other very well, that there's a potential for this situation to be really good again, to be resurrected again. But it will take work. I think they realise that it will take work, but I think they feel they've got the skills to do that. But there's something around speed here and it needing to be slow, in that sort of slow, gradual movement towards you. Now, being called to look at the one underneath, and of course here we have the one underneath. And what did I just say? Now, I wasn't going to look at it, but something in my head said look at the one underneath, and we have the Lovers card here. So the Lovers card is a twin flame soulmate energy. But it does talk also about choices in love. So maybe this is, maybe there's commitments elsewhere. Maybe you are now committed elsewhere. Maybe they are now committed elsewhere. But I think from their point of view, they want to come towards you because the overarching energy is the Lovers, and they see you as someone very significant. It's like all of what I was saying before, they're feeling this strong bond, this strong pull that they can't quite explain. And of course, with the Lovers card there, that makes me think of that whole kind of soulmate twin flame thing. They definitely think you are their person and they want to move slowly towards you. And they might not have, the realisation might be that they didn't know that before, that they weren't sure of that before. Maybe they made choices and they moved away from you before and now they want to come back. Obviously it's up to you about whether you want to go back with them, because it might have been with the Nine of Wands here and the Ten of Swords that you've been through a really tough time with this person. And you're just wondering, what have they learned anything from that experience? And what I would say is that they definitely have learnt that they want to be a better person here with the Hermit card, because they've done a lot of soul searching and a lot of reflection, and they want a commitment. They definitely now know that they want commitment because of all this, this sort of sense of belonging that they feel around you. So I think that is what they have realised. But let's see what advice and guidance you have from Spirit around this situation, pile number 2. Is there any advice or guidance for pile number 2 in this situation? Because we've always got free will, we can do whatever we want. But what is the guidance and advice from Spirit in this situation? Let's see. Gratitude, a thank you goes a long way. So I feel like with this card, what they want to do is they want to show more gratitude. So maybe if they didn't show gratitude in the past, or they weren't very supportive of the situation, or they weren't very they didn't treat it right, then I feel like this time around they do want to do that, because Knight of Pentacles is about being solid, secure, stable energy. It's about building something up slowly. It's about being reliable and dependable. And maybe there's something here about them, and maybe the Spirit is also saying it's about being maybe there's a need to be more thankful possibly for the lessons that you might have learned in this situation about growing and move, within yourself and being able to move forward spiritually. Although it's tough, it is a tough one sometimes. If we've been through hard situations, it's really tough at the time, isn't it, to find gratitude within that. But every single situation or experience that we have is a chance to grow and develop and heal. So maybe there's something about Spirit just nudging you or nudging them to say, look, this is not a huge opportunity for learning. It's to move you on, to move you forward, and then maybe it's about living in gratitude and thanks, and because that kind of raises your vibration, and you see things you see the positive in every situation, even though that can be quite tough at times. Let's see, what other advice do we have here, please, for pile number 2? Let's see what this one says. Helpful people. So maybe you just need, in this situation, what the advice is here is to get, if this is a situation that you've been in an hour and about, or wondering, you're not sure, you have doubts. Maybe this person has come towards you already and you're not, you want to know whether they've actually realised anything that would kind of move the situation forward in a positive way. Maybe it's about checking, getting advice and guidance from the other people in the 3D world around you, people that you trust, people that you rely on, to help you work out what you want to do to move forward. Maybe there's something like that in this. Going for helpful people, going towards helpful people that are going to give you that kind of guidance. I'm being asked to do one more. I wasn't going to do one more, but let's see. Okay, let's do one more. What other guidance do we have for pile number 2 right now in this situation? Please, can you make it clear for me? I feel like that one wants to come out. What is this? Yes. So whatever that means for you, yes. So maybe you're having thoughts about, or you're asking specifically something which is a yes or a no. This has a yes answer to that for you, pile number 2. So there you go. So that is your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be alerted to when I next do a download. But other than that, I will see you in your next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome back to your reading. So in today's reading we are doing, aren't we, what have they realised about this connection? What do they want you to know? What do they need you to know regarding that? So you chose to come into this reading with this beautiful card called, I think you pronounce it as Mintakan or Mintakan. It's called Longing for Home, Belonging in the Original Light Workers. And this is from the Rebecca Campbell Working Light Oracle. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful card, isn't it? There we go. So also, we have our lovely green adventurine here. So I'm going to put that there. So I'm going to get a few more Oracle cards just to get a sense of, what have they realised about the connection and about you. Big thanks for subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing. Really appreciate getting some lovely comments. Really, really like that. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you feel you do want to subscribe, if you haven't already, particularly if you like the readings or you've watched a number of my readings and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It makes a huge difference. Just takes a couple of seconds, and hit the notification bell. So thank you so much for doing that. So let's get straight to it. So what does pile number 3's person what have they realised about this connection? What have they realised about pile number 3? What do they need them to know? What do they want them to know? Please make it clear to me. I'm going to go for that one. This says, finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. So we've got Mintakan, you are the driver and the navigator. I feel like just intuitively from these two, there's something about them realising that they need to find a way forward in this situation, but also that there's a strong link. I feel like there's a strong spiritual link between the two of you here with this Mintakan card here. That there is, they might feel like you've got this really strong link, that you've lived in past lives together, that you have got this. That you share certain things, but they don't quite understand maybe about that. They haven't quite remembered that. But there's this kind of thing that they can't quite put their finger on, but it's just a kind of like a feeling that you feel like home to them in some way. But there's some sort of struggle with that, because we've got, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, and then you've got you are the driver and the navigator. So I feel like there's something about this connection that they're realising that they need to find a way forward through it or in it. They need to find the right path for it. So you might be a little bit of a crossroads, or you might be at a situation which isn't quite satisfactory for you or for them, and you're needing to navigate a way forward. Or they're realising that there needs to be a clear path or a clear plan in some way about how to get it back on track, how to move it forward to where it wants to be, or to where you both want it to be in some way. What else have I got? Let's go for this one. Please can you tell me, what has pile number 3's person realised? Or maybe they just realise that they want to come back to you, or that they want to find their way, your home, and then they want to make their way back to you, and then they need to take action to do that. They need to, take the necessary action now to make that happen. What have we got for pile number 3? Please can you tell me what's pile number 3's person What have they realised? Awareness, yeah. What have I just said? So they're becoming more aware. There's a heightened awareness around this connection. There's something that they need to do, or something that they need to be aware of, something they need to listen to. This woman is standing here in the field looking up at the moon. There's something, or maybe there's something calling them, drawing them in. There's sort of like a magnetism to the connection as well. And that's why I was saying it's like has a strong spiritual connection. There's something pulling them in, you know, to this connection, and that is kind of what they've realised, but I don't feel like they can properly explain it, because this is a kind of hidden, this is secret, but there's something there within the connection that they feel a strong magnetism, a pull, a chemistry, but something much deeper than that with this Mintakan card here. You know, something where they feel like, you know, you've got this like really strong bond that is controlled by something that they don't know anything about, or that it's like an awakening. I feel like with the awareness, it's like an awakening to that in some way. Maybe there's like a spiritual awakening. The relationship has brought on a spiritual awakening for them in some ways, awakening up to what, you know, all the lifetimes that they might have lived before, the other, you know, incarnations they've had, all of that. Somehow the relationship is somehow being a trigger for them in some way, for them to realise that. And maybe to change their course, to change their path in some way. But I'm just going to move that. Oh, okay, that's better. So let's have a look. So there's a very strong spiritual link, I think, between you and your person. 100% here. But let's see. What has part number 3's person realised about this connection? You know, I think they've realised that there's a strong bond. That's the thing. There's a really strong bond between the two of you. On a sort of like in the 5D world, you know, so you might be dreaming about each other a lot. You might be, you know, there might be telepathic stuff going on. You might just have intuitive hits about each other. You might bump into each other. There might be lots of signs around regarding each other. I think that's what they're beginning to sort of like clock onto about this connection. Okay, so please, can you tell me what is part number 3 realising about this connection? And part number 3, the Emperor. Okay, what else are they realising? The Hanged Man. Please can you tell me what else are they realising about this connection? What do they want part number 3 to know? What do they need them to know? Oh, the Lovers. Okay, exactly. What did I say? And the 6 of Pentacles is the overarching energy. Yeah. So I feel like what they're realising is, well, I think they're realising that it's a very significant relationship. Now, it might be that they were trying to hide that from themselves here with the awareness, that they were trying to somehow, or that they didn't properly realise that, and now they are waking up to it. This is a lot about waking up and moving towards home, moving to where you truly belong, moving to who you truly belong with, not to, nobody belongs to anyone, but who you truly feel you belong with. And that is why we have the Lovers card here, because it's a very strong, and it's like a waking up energy. I can't emphasise that enough. There is a waking up to it, a realisation to it. Because the Lovers, again, is about a soulmate twin flame connection. I feel this person that you've probably lived many lifetimes with them before. You might know that. You might have had a feeling about that, but they are just waking up to that. They are just kind of like realising that. They are just getting their head around that. But that is kind of what's going on here. Now, you might be, and it might mean that it requires them to have a new perspective, to see things from a different point of view, because that is the Hanged Man. That is one reading of the Hanged Man. That in order for them to connect to this relationship, to acknowledge this relationship, to realise the importance of this relationship, they need to have a new perspective, a new take on things. And I feel that that is what they are slowly beginning to do. They are beginning to see it from that point of view, because it's still with this awareness, it's that they're sort of just beginning to be aware of it, and that means that they need to have a new perspective. Now, maybe with the Emperor, that they just shut themselves off to that connection, that before they weren't listening to their heart, because the Emperor is a closed off energy, or they weren't. It's a very practical, down to earth, organised. It's a very sort of doing energy, a masculine energy. It's not really necessarily an intuitive energy. So I'm getting with this that they were, that they were very much like that. They used, that their character was very much about being a doer, action, making plans, having strategies, and not really having much of a spiritual connection to themselves, not really being very spiritually aware or in touch with their feelings or anything like that. But for some reason I feel like they are going through a bit of a shift. I feel like the realisation for this is that this connection is triggering a little bit of a shift in them, where they are questioning, where they are looking at themselves as much more as a spiritual being, rather than just this person that is very successful in the 3D world, very successful in life, has made it, is probably got a great career, probably got a great standing in the community, probably a great leader in many respects. But I feel like they're having a shift of perspective. I feel it's around this connection that is causing that to happen, because it is connecting them into something much deeper emotionally and spiritually, and I think that's the realisation that they are having. Now the overarching energy is the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity. So I'm feeling that they want to be more open. They want to be more open and generous now about this kind of this connection. If they were closed off to it before, and I feel like with some of you they might have been closed off to it before, or not open to it before, I feel like they want to be more generous. They want to be more demonstrative. They want to be more open, or they're more open to the whole connection. They're more open to it, because they've had this kind of this altered they were almost like shape shifted in a way into being much more open about the connection. It could be as well that they are realising that they need to make plans and strategies to move the connection forward now, to move it on. There may be choices. Maybe with the Emperor card, this was a connection whereby they were committed already, or they were committed elsewhere, and it's a bit of a three-way situation here. But I feel like something has happened to change that and see the connection in a much more divine way. That maybe if they didn't, if it was maybe just a fling or maybe they saw it as just a fling or affair or something like that, and they had their committed else situation as well. I think they're seeing it in a much more significant way. They want to be more open and generous towards it. They want to make a choice, and I feel like they are just waking up to the fact that they want to make a choice towards you, definitely. Now, in terms of astrological signs, Emperor is Aries, Hanged Man is Pisces, and the Lovers is Gemini. Now, these are all, sorry, those are two major arcana cards. I was going to say they're all, yeah, they are, sorry, the Emperor. For some reason, this is reminding me of the King of Wands, even though it's the Emperor. So it may be that this person, because the King of Wands is a very charismatic, fun-loving, confident. In some respects, even though it's a king, I always find Wands can be a little bit cocky, or a little bit full of themselves, very driven, very passionate. So it might have been that this connection, if it was a three-way situation, to them at that point, it felt like just a bit of, maybe they were given the impression it was just a bit of fun, or they were just very passionate about you, but it was all kind of passion and not much feeling. But I think now they are waking up to it being a feeling, and also just beyond a feeling. It's like a soulful connection for them. They're just realising that, and they want to be more generous with you about that. They want to show that to you. They want to demonstrate to you that they are waking up to that and be generous with you about that. But it's kind of waking up. It's all going off for them, really. In terms of just opening up to their emotions and their feelings and their spirituality. Let's see what else we've got. So please can you tell me what else is pile number 3's person realising about this connection, and about pile number 3. What are they realising about this connection and about pile number 3? 8 of Swords. are they realising? You might be in separation from this person right now with a Hangman on the Eight of Swords here. I feel like there's a lot of angst and stress here. Two of Wands, yeah. What are they realising about this connection? What this one wants to come out. The Empress, okay, yeah. And the Tower. So it could be the Tower energy here. It may be with a three-way situation and the Tower energy here, that they're realising that they need, it's a bit like what I was saying, that they need to make a choice. That they need to make a choice, and that choice is something that is going to cause some upheaval, some turmoil, some issue, really, because the Tower is about something crumbling, something stable and solid, kind of crumbling. And I feel like with this particular situation, with this particular pile, that it's around a choice. And I feel a choice in love, and maybe, or not maybe, I feel this person is really, it might already be in a settled situation, or it might already be, it might not necessarily be a person, it might be a situation which is holding them back, or has held them back from, you know, making a solid connection with you. So that could be work with the Emperor here. That could be work, or that could be anything getting in the way, other commitments, other responsibilities, which they get stressed about, which cause them worry and concern, because the Eight of Swords is about worry, concern, being very stressed. But it's a bit of an illusion, really, because it's kind of like all going on in their head. So sometimes it can be over-stressing and over-worrying. But it might be something that has caused the situation for them to kind of push back on the situation initially, to not acknowledge it, to not to detach from it, or to not acknowledge it. But what I'm feeling is that it's in separation. It could be in separation for a lot of you, and it's in this kind of waiting phase. It's in this kind of waiting phase, but they want to create something with you, because underneath the Lover's card here we have the Empress. I'm feeling like they realise that this is an opportunity for him here to be with you and to create something wonderful with you, to nurture it. They want to nurture it. I think that's what they're realising is. But there's something about needing to have a new perspective, to shift their perspective. So either it's a work situation or a family situation or other commitments or another connection, that needs to shift and change. And they are in the process, I feel at the moment, with the Hangman and the Two of Wands, of trying to do that. It has caused a lot of stress. The overarching energy is the Tower. It means that something's got to crumble, something's got to give way, something's got to be gotten rid of, in order for something new to be created. And I feel like they do want to have this new situation with you, but they know it's going to cause turmoil, they know it's going to cause upheaval. But it's like, with the Tower card as well, the Tower is like a situation that you can't, like, the universe throws the Tower out to you because, you know, you've been having lots of signs, smaller things coming along to get you to shift your perspective. And I feel that's what's been happening with your person. And your person in this situation, you know, that they, you know, that they might have pushed back if they have treated you in a way where they haven't valued you, or it's just been a bit of a fling, or it's just they've kept you on the sidelines or something like that. There's probably been lots of clues and signs along the way where they should have changed that, and maybe now it's in separation and they're realising that actually they need to shift their perspective. They need a whole new way of being and doing. Because they feel this strong link to you, this strong spiritual link to you. They're just waking up to that, and they know that they need to completely get rid of what has gone before in order to build something up new with you. You know, to get rid of all these old ways of being and ways of doing, and they need to connect with you and create something, you know, beautiful and wonderful with you. And they want to do that. I feel like they want to do that. But maybe they're just feeling that maybe with the Tower card here that they might have ruined things with you. So maybe they're feeling that you wouldn't take them back. That might be why we have the Tower energy here, that you wouldn't want to take them back, that it would be something that you wouldn't be interested in. But the other thing as well is that I feel like it might be such a shock for you when they do come back wanting something, to create something with you, because it's such a sort of difference to maybe how they were before, which is somebody who's quite cut off here, somebody who's detached, somebody who's maybe a bit selfish, somebody who maybe just thinking of themselves. But now they're suddenly coming towards you and saying, look, you know, I recognise and realise that this really means a lot to me, this situation. And it might just feel like a massive shock to you, because the Tower can be like a shock, you know, in some way. But anyway, let's see what we've got in terms of guidance from Spirit for you in this situation. What is the guidance for pile number 3? Please can you tell us, make it clear, what is the guidance for pile number 3 in this situation? Gratitude. Now, gratitude came out in pile number, I think it was pile number 2. Was it pile number 2? I can't remember, it was pile number 2. And so did the Lovers card, actually, so just to be aware of that. So you might want to look at, I think it's pile number 2, or you might just need to look at, you know, so I feel like they maybe didn't show much gratitude before, or because with the Emperor card here, it is quite a self-centered energy. And maybe with the Lovers, because the Empress, also with the Emperor and the Empress, I mean, these are divine counterparts. So again, a soulmate, twin flame kind of connection, and the Lovers card. I feel like they are beginning to wake up to the fact, like I said from the very beginning, that you are, this kind of like soulmate, deep connection, divine counterparts here in some way. I mean, you might have actually been married to this person, or you might be married to this person, and you might be in separation from them, and they're just realising that you are home to them. You know, you both belong together. What else have we got here? Curiosity. Learn to be curious about each other. So maybe if you're in separation, there's a need to come back together and learn, because that would go with the Empress, you know, a creative, nurturing energy. Learn about each other again. Maybe it's a brand new, or it feels like something brand new, and that you're learning about each other all over again, because there's been changes. You know, this certainly with your person, I feel like they are going through big changes in themselves, and it's finding that it's almost like a new person, finding out about a new person again. Please can you tell me what is the guidance for pile number 3 in this situation, please? Please can you make it clear? Don't stop. So that might mean something to some of you. Don't stop. What else do we have? That might be a specific message for somebody. Okay, what's this one? Yes. Now again, yes came out. I'm pretty certain yes came out in pile number 2. So if you feel drawn to pile number 2, and there was a sort of slightly similar message. I feel like this one, just let me. Unlikely. So we've got don't stop, yes, unlikely. So the yes came out in pile number 2, and then we've got unlikely here. So that might mean something, again, a specific message for some of you. You could read that in lots of different ways, take it how it resonates. But so pile number 3, that has been your reading. If you've enjoyed it, then please do hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Other than that, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.